Your station. Your voice.
This is Chiltern Voice. You are Chiltern people. I'm Ben, and I'm a bad guy. Billie Eilish, bad guy. Billie Eilish is so talented. She's only 17. She's been 17 for so long, the poor girl must be in her 40s by now. Look, Chiltern people, I got gas in the tank. I got money in the bank. I got news for you, baby. You're listening to the man.
Technologic.
You just been dancing to the Killers and Daft Punk. Now you're seriously going to start jumping to a thumping tune, Chiltern people. Thanks, Tony H, for your message on email. Go for it, Ben. Oh, I certainly will, my son. All right, people. Time to get up and bounce. Groove Armada. Super styling. I know I've evolved as a person, but here's the thing, Chiltern people. Has my personality changed since my teenage years? You're going to find out soon, because I've got my school report here from 1979. And will it prove I'm still the same? And very soon after the ads, I'll read out the naughty bits. Oh, I bet some of you haven't heard that one for a long time. What happened to the flying lizards? And that was money. Old tunes, people. That's real time travel for you. So I think I want to let my memories and your memories flow again. I absolutely love this track. So let me just close my eyes and listen, and you do the same. Now, so very soon, I'm going to tease you a little bit. I'm going to read out the funny bits from my school report from 1979. Has my personality changed since I was 13 years young? Am I exactly the same? I want to figure it out. Oh, quality tune there from Royal Blood, Figure It Out. So, I've got my school report here from 1979. I'll start off with English. I just want to see if I've changed. I've got English from Mr. Mike Fry. He was a real character. Very tall, very thin, and obsessed with Judi Dench from the Royal Shakespeare Company at the time. So he starts off, right, with, oh dear, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Benjamin works with tremendous enthusiasm, imagination, and exuberance, but his lack of self-control can be infuriating. He's given me A1, so he likes me. He likes me. I did drama with him, and he used to ask me to read out my stories in front of the class. And sometimes I would do a story, but he didn't know I copied it out of the Godfather novel and just made out it was myself, and he thought it was amazing. That's how you get good scores in English when you're 13 years young. Oh, I've got one here. Maths. Okay. My maths teacher his name was Dr. Wood, and he used to talk like this. So when we were making a real lot of noise in the class, he would go, "Will you shut up?" like this, because he had no volume on his voice. And what happened was he would shout at us, and then when he would turn his back to face the blackboard, I would go, "Will you shut up?" And he would turn around and go, "Who was that?" Absolutely hilarious, and I haven't talked about that for years. Well, anyway, he said, no, should I do it in his style? He goes, yeah, okay, I'll put his voice on. Do you like that? I did that as if there's someone with me, but there isn't. He has made some effort to improve the quality of his work, and he did well in his examination. His personal manner is not always acceptable. And he gave me a B2 for maths. Oh, bless him. He was so old. I feel so bad and so cruel. Anyway, this next track reminds me of Miss Majors, who was my French teacher at the time. Private thoughts, Chiltern people. Private thoughts. Oh, quality track, Chiltern people. Elvis Costello and Oliver's Army. Do you know what? When you're doing a show like this, and especially when you're doing something quite personal, it is quite emotional. And listening to that tune really took me back. And I haven't heard that for a long time. French. Okay, so Miss Majors, C2 she gave me. Benjamin still has a very silly attitude at times. With a more mature approach, he could improve. Miss Majors, I wasn't silly, I was just in love. Anyway, history, that was boring. C2. Geography. Oh yes, geography. I got C2 average. After a very poor start, Benjamin now produces a good standard of work, but his behaviour in class is often annoying. Art. Now, art lessons. I got C4. Spends too little time working. I don't know about whether this will spark some of your memories, some of the older generation that are listening. But what we used to do in art, when everyone was painting and being serious, I would talk to a friend in class and make out we're having a fight. So suddenly I would throw him or he would throw me across everyone's work while they're working. And then make out I've been hit or whatever. But our art teacher, Mr. Sneller, he would ask us to come to the front of the classroom and everyone was giggling. He would go to hit you with this really old boot. And what would be funny was I would react before he'd hit me. So I'd make out, I'd be like, oh, like make out he's actually hurt me before he touched me. And the class were in hysterics. Oh my God, the memories have come flooding back still. So that was art. Now, here we go, Chiltern people. This says it all. This is why I'm here today with you now playing some tunes. Music, A2. He has worked well. Good. And an exclamation mark. I think I'll play a track from 1979. I'm looking at my school report from 1979 and I just want to see whether I've changed. And so far, you know what? I think I've evolved as a person. But no, I am exactly the same. And I wonder how many of you listening where you can actually stand up and put your hand on your heart and say, yep, Ben, I am the same as I was when I was a teenager. All right, tutor's report. Benjamin needs to think about his attitude to school in general. Too often, have you noticed I'm going all posh? Too often he appears to think that he has no need of advice, instruction or correction. Yep, that's me. And the housemaster says, take heed of this warning. The headmaster. Oh, he writes in green because his head maybe is from Mars. Mr. Henry Stennett says, I would like to see a good measure of self-discipline. Wow. I haven't changed, and I hope you didn't mind me reading that out. I hope it wasn't too self-indulgent. Staying at 1979, I think it's time for a little bit of Blondie, don't you think? Got an email from Tony. What's happened to all the dance beats, he says. Well, Tony, I just wanted to change lanes for a bit, but here we go. All right, Chiltern people, time to bounce. Imagine me walking down the street and this is what you'll hear. I'm thinking, how many of you out there, you lads, listen to this thinking, yeah, I can do a bit of Travolta on the dance floor. I can do a bit of John. Bee Gees, Staying Alive. What is it with me? Whenever I think of the Bee Gees, I think of Kenny Everett. And those of you that are old enough, back in the 80s, Kenny Everett did the Bee Gees, do you remember, with the Bee Gees kit? And he did Sid Snot, and the thing is, I've realised, and that's one of the reasons why I called this show the Ben Lemel Radio Show, because the Kenny Everett video show, that's how I got the title, Chiltern people. Clever. And the thing is, with Kenny Everett, I find myself going really cockney when I'm talking to you, or sometimes I thought I'll turn into Sid Snot, you know, that, hello. Hello, Sid Snot here. I was down the supermarket smashing up a few shelves and I come across this action job. I looked at the instructions, you turn the lever, I wind out the back and then it nuts ya. Do you know what, Chiltern people? Every time I watch Kenny Everett, when I find some of this old footage on YouTube, I'm in hysterics. And the thing that really got me was when, I don't know whether you remember, you can look it up on YouTube, where he did Rod Stewart. And Rod Stewart's backside gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the funny thing is, Rod Stewart's actually in the programme beforehand. And it's really funny with his skin-tight leopard skin trousers, so check that out. And sometimes I find myself going a bit of Mickey Flanagan as well, so I'm trying to find my voice. And while I'm pressing all these dials and sorting out all the problems and mistakes with all the faders and the buttons here, I find myself being really serious at the beginning of the evening. And then after an hour, I'm sort of loosened up, I'm all right. But I've got to watch my voice, so you must let me know if I turn into Sid Snot, all right? The White Stripes, Seven Nation Army, and out of respect I had to play that track to the very end. So this is my second show, Chiltern people. I hope you're enjoying my vibe, I hope you're enjoying the tunes. The other day I met some of the other presenters here at Chiltern Voice. So what I want to do now, I just want to go to the broadcast schedule to let you know what's going on. Oh, Sylvester, you make me feel mighty real. I hope you're enjoying the evening as much as I am, Chiltern people. Chiltern businesses, have your company sponsor one of our shows here at Chiltern Voice. You might want an advert featured. Just imagine me saying, for example, the Ben Lemel Show is sponsored by Chiltern Solar. Email us, get involved, don't be shy. studio@chilternvoice.fm. So I want to do another shout out. See, I'm going Mickey Flanagan, a little bit of Sid Snot there. Another shout out to David Rees here at Chiltern Voice for giving up his time this week to train us presenters. And you know what? This next track was number one when Dave was born. So I hope you're listening, Dave. Here we go.
If you change your mind, take a chance, I'm the first in line.
Primal Scream moving on up for Helen. Thanks, Helen, for your email. You're listening to Chiltern Voice. You are Chiltern people. I hope you're enjoying my show tonight. Let's keep the energy up.
Destination unknown.
Calvin Harris, Acceptable in the 80s. All right, Chiltern people. I really want you to seriously bounce to this next tune. Are you ready? I just want to say thank you so much for those of you that have been a part of my show tonight. I've had a real blast. What a wonderful start to the weekend. I can't wait to see you again next week from 8 o'clock till 10 on Fridays. Make sure you check out the broadcast schedule to see what else is going on at Chiltern Voice. And Chiltern people, it's been a blast. Thank you so much again.